Looking at this on the daily time frame, it is very clear we are bearish. All right, and in order to identify the trend, all you have to do is to look at where the market forms support, where the market form resistance, where the market form support, where the market form resistance. All right, if you get your trend line and attach it from the top and run it all the way down, clearly you're going to see that the market is descending, which simply means that we are pushing towards the downside gradually. See it? This is what we are getting. All right, now on the daily time frame, this was the previous significant high. All right, this resistance right here. The market breaks and close above the level, which gives us an indication that the potential is there for further upside. All right, now based on the signal we sent last week for the buy here, price pretty much came back down to retest the level right here because we have a solid daily support right here. We have another daily support right here which we took buy from last week, and then price came back down to retest the trajectory of the trend line respecting the area. So that's the reason why I am expecting further upside. And again, it's based on the fact that we had resistance here and this push clearly breaks above here, which gives us the indication that the market can continue to push bullish. So this could just be the pullback for the final retest for the market to continue to push again to create a new high, and then we can get a trend line probably looking something like this. Because if we are going to change trend, respecting the low on the daily time frame and break the high, all right, with a new high here, and currently we are respecting the low right here. So the previous daily candle came down, did not contest the support here, and then this daily candle open, create a lower wick respecting the trajectory of the trend line, and now starting to push bullish. All right, so at this point I'm expecting further upside, and we are at a solid level on the daily time frame also, where the potential is there for price to reject and continue to push bullish. Because if you look at the trend, we have a high here, a low here, high here, a low here. This is the significant high, this is the significant low, significant high, significant low. And then this high breaks above the previous daily high right here, or the significant high. So in this case, we can argue that, hey, the market is ready to change trend. This was the most recent significant low on the daily time frame. What happened here? So far, we are respecting this area. So for now, I'm looking at the market moving from this descending move down to start do something like this. So this is what I am actually looking at. So it doesn't necessarily mean that one daily candle gonna give you a big push all the way back up here. It might take some time, might take a few days, but 30 pips, 40 pips, 50 pips, secure some position and just manage risk as you go along. So this was one of the reasons why I actually took the buys here, because we took buys here last week, take about 25 pips because the week started with two losing trade. Took about 25 pips, and then the market overall, the market went up for almost 200 pips from entry down here. Over 200 pips the market went up. So that's but the market came back down to retest a solid level on the daily time frame, and also respecting the trajectory of the trend line. So yes, I'm expecting further upside. So once price can stay above, I would say above here, then you can hold a position. All right, because it doesn't make any sense. You're gonna make your 30 pips and then you allow the market to pull all the way back down. So you make 30 pip, just take some position off the board and be happy. We're gonna have another trading day tomorrow, you know, Thursday, Wednesday, just the same. Tuesday, just the same, you know. So just take it a step at a time. So if you haven't secured any profit, just secure some profit. And if you have more than one position, you can leave one position to run, you know. I think that the potential is there for further upside. I was looking at the volatility 75-1S. Let's take a look at on the daily time frame to see what we have on the daily time frame. Now, this is pretty bearish, and as I always tell you guys, I always try to go with the trend of the market. I always try to trade with the trend of the market. So clearly the market is pushing bearish. We'll have the significant highs. Have the significant highs here, the significant low, significant highs, significant low. Could argue to say this is a high here, low. So this gives us an idea that the market is indeed pushing bearish. All right. So this is the extreme low, and this is the most recent daily resistance respecting the previous year. If you get a trend line and run it all the way down, clearly the market is descending again. So we are pushing towards the downside gradually. Also on the daily time frame, the previous daily candle form resistance. All right, form resistance. So what I would love to see is for price to pull back into my sell zone on the lower time frame. You know, observe how price is reacting in the area. If price is respecting the area in the form of rejection, or if we get some form of resistance on the 30-minute or the 1 hour time frame, then I will be looking for sell, because the market is bearish. We came back up, we create a high point on the daily time frame with resistance. So yes, within another day or for the rest of the week, then I would be expecting further downside based on the market structure, because it gives me the confirmation that, hey, we are doing this. We pull back, we form resistance lower than the previous. You're in a trend line. Perfect place to look for selling this area for the market to continue to push bearish. To probably get a wick fill down here on the daily time frame, which will take some time, but I think the overall target for me gonna be this daily support right here. So this is what I am actually looking for the volatility 75-1S. Alright, so again, all you have to do, guys, when you come to the chart, you identify your levels. You mark off your daily resistance, you mark off your daily support. All right, you look at your trend. Clearly, you can identify that the market is pushing bearish, because on the daily time frame, we are creating lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, with support and also the wick on the daily candle. All right, you take a look at the 4 hour time frame as well. You look at how candles are being formed on the H4 time frame, just the same. Pretty much most of the highs are getting respected on the 4 hour time frame. So if you look here, high got respected, got respected, got respected. Try to break above this candle, respect the previous, got respected here just the same. And so far this candle is respecting the high of the previous. So this gives us a confirmation that, hey, the market is breaking towards the downside gradually, but I need price to pull back to retest my trend line in this area to look for sells for the market to continue to push bearish, because again, the trend is bearish, and whenever the trend is bearish, I'm going to be more interested in sells. Whenever the market is bullish, based on the level just the same, I'm going to be more interested in buys. All right, so if you look here, we have a solid H4 level right here. We have another level here just the same, and this daily resistance pretty much lined up with our H4 resistance. So you know that this is a solid level, and we have H4 support here just the same, where, you know, the market pretty much came back and reacted to this level farm resistance, and we are pushing towards the downside gradually. You know, so the potential is there for it to continue to push bearish, but I'm just looking to see how it will actually react in this zone, to see if I can actually get in for a sell to continue to ride the trend down. Even if you look on this on the 1 hour time frame, this is our high point here. You know, we push all the way down, we created a low point, we have another high point here, we push all the way down, we create a low point, you know, pull back here, here, you know. So once price can pull back, you know, it makes perfect sense. You attach a trend line, one touch, two touch all the way out, which gonna correspond with price respecting the trajectory of the trend line for us to look for sell right in this area for the market to continue to drop, to retest the low here, and if we get continuation just the same, we can ride the trend down. If it pull back, to retest it again with resistance, you're gonna be looking for sell, because this is what the market is giving me. So sell here, sell here. All right, buying at the low, it's gonna be a bit risky, counter trend. You know, so if I'm gonna take a buy here, it's gonna be at low risk. I'm not gonna use my normal risk that I would have, you know, actually used. So I cut the risk in half because it's counter trend. Simply means that you are going against the trend of the market. Even though the market is giving you this, it doesn't mean that it will have to respect here. It will more respect the trajectory of the trend line in the downtrend more than trying to take buy from the low, because if the market is bearish, it simply means that we are going down, and whenever the market is bearish, you don't really want to buy into the market unless you get some form of confirmation on the higher time frame, you know, the daily, the 4 hour, then you can look for buy at that level. But currently I'm more interested in sells, so I'm just observing to see how the market will react into this zone, and then I can go ahead to look for a sell to continue to push bearish. All right, so you start on your daily time frame, identify your daily support and resistance. Just the same, you can look at the trend of the market. If the market is pushing bearish or bullish, you can go ahead and look at that. In this case, the market is bearish. You have a resistance here, you know. You go over to your 4 hour time frame, you mark off your most recent support and resistance. So we have 4 hour resistance here, and we have another 4 hour support here, and one here just the same. So these are the two key levels we are actually trading between. You go down to the 1 hour time frame just the same. We know that the market is bearish, so you have to try and find a suitable area where you can actually draw your trend line from. All right, again, you have your high point here, so this will be your starting point of the trend line. You have a second touch here, you know, you attach it to the second touch all the way out. All right, if price can pull back into this area to form some form of resistance and retest it, then I'm interested in looking for sells here. All right, just from here, just the same, one touch, two touch all the way out. You see that price actually breaks to pull back to potentially retest for the market to continue to push down. But I'm more comfortably looking for sell in this area and keeping my stop loss above this H4 levels. Because if we are pushing bearish, then there's no need for the market to actually break back above here. There's no need for the market to break back above here. Because if it does, we will be breaking back into this trend line right here. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we will actually be breaking above this 1 hour support, this 1 hour resistance. So if we start to break above this 1 hour resistance, pushing up to create a new high, breaking above the previous right here, then this gives me an indication that the market is ready to change trend. All right, so if we are going down, it needs to respect and stay below. Even if you get a one candle to break out, you know, once you start to break above these wicks here, then the bias becomes invalid, and you know, you can manage risk at that point. So that's for the volatility 751S, and pretty much my overall target zone most time it's gonna be from my entry point, which would be here, all the way down to my most recent daily level, or a solid 4 hour level. All right, so if you get in and you secure some profit and then the price push down to here, you know, you can take some profit here just the same. If it breaks through and falls into the vicinity of clean candles here to the left, if it falls into the vicinity of clean candles here to the left, then you know, you can actually trail your stop loss probably above this 4 hour level here and just leave it, because whenever you take trade and the market starts to push in your direction, if you are looking to hold the trade for an extended period of time, what you can actually do, you can move your stop loss. So take for example, if you took some sells here, why this so big? If you took some sells here, Zane and the market push down and it pull back and form resistance, then it would be ideal for you to probably keep it above here, even though this candle would have stopped you out, but that would have been the idea, because you pull back with farm resistance, you're expecting further downside, so you're trailing your stop loss. So even if the market pull back and hit your stop loss, you will still be in some profit, you'll still be in some profit just the same. All right, so you can actually trail your stop loss. So once you find that the market break out of a particular level, take for example, this was a solid support area. We break out, you know, it would be ideal to keep stop loss probably above here, and you would be anticipating the market to continue to push bearish and respect this area, because really and truly, if you find that the market leaves a particular zone and we are going down, there is no need for the market to break all the way back above here, and you start to get like a 1 hour candle to close above the here, or a 30-minute candle. If we are going down and we leave this area, then the market needs to stay below this area and continue to push bearish. So this is the reason why I have my sell zone here, and it lines up perfectly with my trend line. So I am more interested in sells at this point, because they are bearish and the market starts to give me the indication that we are ready to push towards the downside gradually. So I just needed to pull back here, observe how the market react, and then I can get in to ride the trend down. All right.